Hey everybody, welcome to Retrospective Rants with me, Joey Huff, as your host. Oh, goodness me, it's been a while, and a lot has happened in that long while. For me, no, for everybody. But to explain why I've been so delayed in this, all I'm comfortable saying is that there's been a lot of personal drama, ranging from incredibly tragic to very tragically timed. I mean, it might be funny. It might have almost been funny at any other point, but it happened at the exact wrong time, and it was just bad. So I've been distracted. That's not really an excuse, but it is the reason for my long silence as far as the podcast is concerned. So, I will soon have another episode of The Dark Lord out for your listening pleasure, but until then, I'd like to do something just a little more self-indulgent and present you with my rendition of 3 villainous Shakespearean monologues. Yeah, if you didn't think I was full of myself before, you might at this point. Now, first off, when I was younger even than I was now, I thought I had these monologues nailed. I was told multiple times, oh, you have such a talent for this. And no, not just by my parents, but by people just listening in audiences at various drama programs or theater events. And I believed in them. And if you think I gave these monologues or recorded them in a single take, you would be wrong, because over and over again I'd listen to them and I'd just say, no, that's just, get rid of it. Until finally I said, this is good enough, this is as fine as I will get now. Maybe if I had like a few months long or a month long rehearsal process, I'd get better, but I don't, or rather, I didn't at the time of starting this project, so you get what you get, and I have given what I can give. Hopefully it sounds presentable, at least, or entertaining, interesting, that sort of thing. But, so, for these 3 monologues, I have the not ending monologue, but I have Macbeth's "She Should Have Died Hereafter" monologue. It's the thing where he just goes full nihilism and is like, life sucks. For the second monologue, I have Gloucester's, or Richard III's monologue from the beginning of Richard III. It's the one that begins with, "Now is the winter of our discontent," as Laurence Olivier started it. It's not quite like that, my rendition. And finally is the "Thou Nature" monologue from King Lear, as delivered by Edmund. Spoken by Edmund. Now, this is one of my favorite monologues in all of Shakespeare, and you know what? I still feel like I made a hash out of it. After multiple takes over multiple days, I still feel it's not good enough. But again, I have done as best as I can under the circumstances. And because I need to get something out to remind you all that I still do this podcast. So, here it is. I hope they're not too bad. I may or may not put sound effects. I think I'll just do one version without and one version with, and people can pick whichever to listen to. I'll also, between each monologue, I'll try and give like a little pause between where I will give context and then we transition into the actual text, just so it doesn't all just blend in and sound like nothing, just rambling. like right now. Anyway, here it is, 3 villainous Shakespearean monologues performed by me, Joseph Huff. And we'll start off with Macbeth. Enjoy. I've almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and I fell of hair, but at a dismal treaty's rouse and stir, as life were in it. Ah, I've supped full with horrors, direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once stir me. Wherefore was that cry? The Queen, my lord, is dead. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Ah, tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools on the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So there's Macbeth's tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow monologue. Yeah, it's pretty depressing, isn't it? I know the Scottish accent, or at least my attempt at it, is a little on the nose, but I never hear it in a Scottish accent. Wait, wasn't it? Well, I don't hear it many times in a Scottish accent, so I just wanted to be a little silly and just throw it in there. Or, again, my attempt at it. I think it's better than some that were in the 90s, but still, I know. Now, next one is from Richard III, or Gloucester, as he's known in the first part of the play. This is during a later part of the War of Roses, and peace has supposedly finally been achieved. Except Richard III doesn't like it because he's going through his emo phase late in life and is just like, oh, I'm so ugly and abused, I can't enjoy peace, so I'm gonna be an asshole to everybody. And that's what he summarizes in this monologue. Enjoy! Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this son of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barded steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I that am rudely stamped, and want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why, I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover, to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy, which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Oh. Dive thoughts down to my soul. Here Clarence comes! My brother, here you are! Well, that was my take on Richard III, or Gloucester, or whatever name he feels like having at that moment in the play. And yeah, it was pretty theatrical and one-dimensional, but that's his character. He has no redeeming features. One person, or one Shakespearean villain who does have some redeeming characteristics, is Edmund from King Lear. He's my favorite of the Shakespearean bad guys. He really is. He's smart. He's got perfect reasons for hating everybody in his life. Well, not perfect reasons, but he has justifications for it. It makes sense. And this is the monologue, this Thou Nature monologue, is where he just lays all of that bare. And I still don't think I've done it right. But here it is anyway. I hope you enjoy it. Thou Nature art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous, and my shape as true, as honest madam's issue, why brand they us with baseness, bastardy, base? Who, in the lusty stealth of nature, take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed go to the creating a whole tribe of fops got tween asleep and wake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word, that. Legitimate. Well, my legitimate. If this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow. I prosper. Now, ye gods, stand up for bastards. Well, there we are, some villainous Shakespearean monologues. I hope you at least found them interesting, and maybe I'll try some other stuff later in the posting process. I'll have a new episode of The Dark Lord soon, and maybe a book reading after that. I really hope I can keep the momentum up this time, and I hope even more so to not have more personal tragedy just crop up and wreck it all. Thank you for listening as always, and have a good one.